I am here to share real-world financial situations and stories to help you learn more about finances, get out of debt, build wealth, and live an amazing life. Let's get started. Confession number 1. How aggressively should we pay off debts? My husband and I are 30. We have about $50,000 in student loans at 7% interest. We're both working full-time, making about $240,000 a year combined. My husband gets a $15,000 bonus at Christmas. Our mortgage on our house is $3,000 a month, with all utilities, internet, and phone. Both max out our 401k. We only have about $6,000 left in savings due to home renovations, which are still not complete. Another $25,000 in the next few years is needed. We're trying to build savings up to at least $15,000. I also have $8,000 in an investment account. We aim to save $2,500 a month right now and aggressively pay off loans to the tune of $2,500 a month, because we want to start a family in a few years and would like to be rid of the loans in 2 to 3 years. We're also hoping to buy a $30,000 car in 2024 if we can afford it, as we currently don't own one. Are we paying the loans off too aggressively for optimal liquidity? What's the smartest way of paying off these loans to achieve our other financial goals? Right now, you're trying to save $2,500 a month when you have loans that are at 7% interest. Your high yield savings account is not earning 7%, and even if it was earning 7%, you still have to account for normal income taxes. That additional $2,500 a month that you are saving, you should be throwing all of that towards the student loan debt. You should not be renovating a house when you have debt still. Every single dollar should be going towards these debt payments. With $50,000, you should be able to throw $50,000 at that over the course of the next 12 months, get out of debt, be debt free. And then guess what? That'll open up $5,000 a month in cash flow that you can use towards saving up for renovations, building an emergency fund, having kids, everything else in between. You should only be worrying about paying this debt off. Get out of it in the next 12 months. You have a phenomenal income. There's no reason you should not be out of debt in the next 12 months. Confession number 2. Credit card debt is making me feel trapped. I can't seem to get ahead of it. I have a good paying job, but I'm not happy where I'm located. Credit card debt has trapped me here and in this job. I make about $160,000 a year. I have about $21,000 in credit card debt. I have a car payment that is also high. I have $10,000 in savings, $1,800 in my checking account, and I can't seem to increase either because I keep throwing wads of cash at credit cards or have random expenses. I cannot withdraw from my 401k, and I have no personal stock portfolio, as I cleared that to buy my house. I'm considering draining my savings about $4,000, throwing out my high rate balances just to eliminate some of the monthly balances coming out of my income. I'm very concerned about having less than 2 months of expenses saved, although I'm right on the edge of only having 2 months right now because of my credit cards as it is. First, it sounds like you are living way above your means. This means you need to sit down, come up with a budget, start sticking to that budget. If you've not been budgeting your money, I can guarantee you can find expenses that are unnecessary the last 3 to 6 months that were thousands worth of dollars of expenses that you could have been saving throwing towards this credit card debt. If you want to follow Dave Ramsey's baby steps, that means you save $1,000 in your emergency fund and throw the rest of the money that you have into paying off the debt. That means you'd have about $11,000 to throw out this debt, which would cut your credit card debt in half. And guess what? Worst case scenario, you end up back in credit card debt. If I was in your shoes, maybe you want to save $2,500. Maybe you save your $4,000 that you're talking about as an emergency fund. But I'd be throwing every single other dollar towards this credit card debt and start aggressively paying it off. You need to set a budget. You need to start budgeting your money every single month and start attacking this debt as quickly as possible. Cut up the credit card, put it in the freezer, do something so it's not in your wallet so you cannot swipe that card anymore. Confession number 3. Is my friend right about a big down payment on a car being bad? I've been thinking about buying a new car. I've never financed a car. I have new credit history, about 2 years. The car is $32,000, so I was thinking about putting $10,000 down, so my monthly payment is about $350 for 72 months. I was talking to a friend, and he said it'd be better to make a smaller down payment of maybe $2,000. Is this actually a better way of doing it? Where interest rates are today, car loans are probably between 7 and 15% depending on your credit. So no, you should not be putting as little down as possible on a car. First, you should not even be financing a car. If you need to go buy a $32,000 car, because you want a $32,000 car, take that $10,000 in cash and go buy a $10,000 car with it. You should not be financing a $32,000 car if you're not pay cash for it. You should not be buying that car. Please do not listen to your friend. Do not put down as little as possible on that car. When buying a car, you should put as much as possible down, and which is 100%, and pay for it in cash. Confession number 4. Is my friend giving me bad financial advice about paying back my student loans? My friend went to school for finance, so I'd like to think he knows what he's talking about, but I'm generally lost about what he's saying. I have $72,000 in loans and plan to move home and pay at least half of that in a year, and then pay off the rest within a few years. My loans are between 5 to 7%, and I plan to tackle the 7% first. He tried to tell me that the 20 to 25 year program is always the way to go. All the research I've seen shows that that's absolutely not the case, that interest will be massive. He's insisting I'm done for trying to pay my loans quicker. Then said he only pays $39 a month for his $120,000 worth of student loan debt, that it's all have to pay for the next 20 years. Is that possible in any realm, or is he being delusional? For reference, he has next to nothing income right now, so this may be true for now, but he'll eventually be paying more than $39 a month if his income increases, correct? Then he tried to tell me private loans are better and more flexible than federal. Now he's saying he made his private loans and federal to qualify for federal programs. Is that even possible? He's insisting these are all facts, but I can't find anything to back it up. His payments might be based to his current income levels, which is why they're so low. But yes, if his income increases, then so will his monthly payments. You cannot convert private loans into federal loans either. He's telling you to keep debt around for 20 to 25 years. That sounds horrible. Why would you ever want to do that? And guess what? We don't know if those loans are going to be forgiven in 20, 25 years from now. Legislation could change. Things could change. They might not be here. If you have the opportunity and the ability to pay these loans off for the next 18 months, do it. What's stopping you? Be debt-free. Don't have to worry about monthly payments anymore. Then you go enjoy your life. Confession number 5. How poor were my choices? Last year, I left a job making $55,000 and my partner made $19,000. We had a $1,400 a month mortgage, 2 car payments for $300 and $350, and the normal bills. The new job was a massive increase in pay, $185,000. I realized how fortunate I am. Partner left a job to be a stay-at-home mom for a 2-year-old. We bought a new house a few months ago to be much closer to my new job, $2,500 a month mortgage. I did what I was probably not supposed to do and traded in my vehicle. Neither of us had ever had the ability to actually get a vehicle we really wanted. The new payment, at least, is $1,000 a month. Our old house is now on the market. Now I think I should do a better job with the money situation. I have plenty of disposable income now, but I'm technically a contractor, so I get 0 benefits. My questions are, should I buy out my lease and downgrade the vehicle? I know I should be saving for an emergency fund and max out my RAs, HSAs if I can, etc. Are there any other tips anyone can provide? This has been new territory for both of us, and I'm worried I'm going to creep back up into maxing things out. Take-home pay is $2,400 a week with all taxes taken out. The vehicle is a $75,000 Toyota Tundra. So this is a common instance of lifestyle creep. You got a phenomenal job increase. You went and financed a car for $700 more a month, actually leased it. Your housing payment went up $1,000 a month, and you still haven't sold your previous house. This is a common mistake of a lot of people. When their income increases, so does their lifestyle. And guess what? That is $1,700 more a month in guaranteed payments you're now required to make between the lease and the housing payment. You really need to start saving up an emergency fund, because if life happens, you lose your job, whatever it is, you need to make sure that you have buffer for all these different payments you've locked yourself in. When it comes to the car, yeah, I'd be looking at figuring out, can you buy out of that lease? What can you do? And go buy a car that you can actually afford. Pay cash for the car. Do not finance it. Do not lease it. Do not go and buy a $75,000 vehicle. There's no reason to have that. There's no justification or reason for financing or leasing a $1,000 car. That Toyota Tundra, that $75,000 gets you from point A to point B just as a $10,000 or $20,000 vehicle does. So overall, your choices were poor. Lifestyle creep has occurred. So you need to figure out, how do you get out of this car lease? How do you buy a car that you can pay for cash? How do you pay off the other car as quickly as possible and start saving up an emergency? Confession number 7. Looking for advice for lawsuit money. I'm 17, almost 18. I have $55,000 worth of lawsuit money that I get automatically when I turn 18. I'm looking for advice on what to do with it. I'm absolutely clueless. You need to start educating yourself about money, start learning about investing, about saving, about what debt is. And if you have any debt, use that to pay off debt. If you don't have any debt, let's put it in a high yield savings account. Let it sit there and start educating yourself about money. Please do not go buy something. Please do not go invest it until you sit down, start learning how to budget, how to invest, what investing is, what index funds are, what ETFs are, what mutual funds are, the downsides of single stock investing. Start educating yourself, start learning, and then you can figure out what to do with that money. Well, that's it for today. Thanks for watching. If you enjoyed these financial stories today, if you learned something from it, please hit the like and subscribe button, and we'll see you next time.